You know what the best way to hide the truth is? Not one big lie. It's 1,000 small contradicting ones until people give up trying to figure out what's true at all. That's exactly what's happened in the health and weight loss industry. And it's why almost nothing about diet and exercise ever seems to add up. Eat less, eat more often. Fat is the enemy. No, fat is fine. Cardio is the king. No, cardio is useless. 6 small meals. No, 1 big meal. Stick with me because once you see why the confusion exists, you'll never look at conflicting health advice the same way again. In 1996, an internal tobacco industry memo said something chilling and completely honest. Doubt is our product. The industry knew it could not convince people cigarettes were safe. So instead, its strategy was to manufacture just enough doubt that people would keep smoking despite the evidence. Here's what most people don't know. In the decades that followed, tobacco companies, Philip Morris, R.J. Reynolds, acquired General Foods, Kraft, and Nabisco. Some of the very same executives and strategists who perfected the doubt is a product playbook for cigarette moved directly into running the companies that make the food on your grocery shelves. The myth is that all this conflicting nutrition advice is just science evolving. Researchers doing their best with an honest, messy process. Some of that is true, but a lot of that noise you absorbed didn't come from honest scientific disagreement. It came from a deliberate, strategic, borrowed directly from tobacco, applied to food. Confused people don't trust their own judgment, and people who don't trust their own judgment keep buying solutions instead of trusting their body's own design. The confusion itself became the product because the real incentive underneath it, repeat customers instead of resolving problems, stay hidden as long as you're too busy trying to figure out whether eggs are good or bad for you this week. The industry doesn't need one coordinated lie. It just needs enough competing expert advice that you throw up your hands and default to whoever is shouting the loudest. I grew up in Karissos, Greece, a small town where our elders lived into their 90s and hundreds, naturally healthy, without a single one of them ever reading a nutritional label or a diet book. There was no confusion there because there was no industry standing between them and their food. Places like this are not unique. Researchers studying what are now called blue zones, including Karia, an island not far from where I grew up, found the same pattern again and again. Simple whole foods, natural movement, no noise, no conflicting advice, just a way of living that never had to fight against an industry's incentives. Here's a fast filter you can use starting today. If a piece of nutritional advice contradicts what your grandparents would recognize as food, be skeptical of it. Not because old automatically means right, but because most manufactured confusion is about products that did not exist 100 years ago. People assume that because there is disagreement, there must not be a clear answer. And that's exactly the outcome the confusion was designed to produce. The disagreement is the strategy, not evidence that the truth is unknowable. Confusion is profitable, and an industry that profits from your confusion has no incentive to ever clear it up. So how do you cut through it? You stop asking, what's the latest studies say? And start asking, does this match how humans actually lived and ate for most of history before an industry had a reason to complicate it? That single question eliminates most of the noise instantly. People ask me, so is all nutrition science bad? Not at all. There's excellent, honest research out there. The point is not to distrust science. Is to recognize when confusion is being manufactured on purpose and stop treating every contradicting headline as equally credible. This is why the Body Reset Protocol doesn't start with another food rule. It starts with restoring the systems your body already has: appetite, movement, energy regulation. So you no longer depend on figuring out which contradicting expert to believe this month. Almost every client I worked with describes the same feeling before they start: exhaustion, not from dieting, but from trying to keep up with which rules are supposedly true this year. The relief they feel once they stop chasing the noise is often bigger than the relief of actually losing the weight. The confusion was never an accident. It was the business model. And the way out is not finding the one true diet hiding somewhere in the noise. It's stepping outside the noise and fixing the systems that were built to keep you lean and healthy long before any of this confusion ever started. That's exactly why I started this movement, Lean and Healthy by Default, to cut through the noise and just tell people the truth. The link is in the description below. Go check it out. Let's cut through the noise together.